Coming up on AGWEEK TV, the biofuels industry could receive a huge infrastructure boost if the budget reconciliation bill passes in Congress.
I'll tell you about a project that shows promise to reduce sunflower head rot the natural way, using bees.
The sugarbeet harvest is wrapping up in the region, and the perfect supply chain storm tightens global fertilizer supplies and sends prices skyrocketing. Welcome to AGWEEK TV. I'm Michelle Rook. The White House and congressional Democratic leaders have put together a revised framework for the budget reconciliation bill. The Build Back Better plan has a price tag of $1.8 trillion, down from the previous proposal of $3.5 trillion. There are pay-fors such as a 15% corporate minimum tax on large companies and multimillionaires. But elimination of stepped-up basis and changes in the estate tax aren't in the current plan. South Dakota Senator John Thune says there will be a big fight if that isn't upheld as it moves through Congress.
I led a letter with all 50 Senate Republicans to the President basically saying we will oppose this vigorously, and all we need is one Democrat to step up. Now, the administration, I think, has gotten the message.
For agriculture, the plan includes a $25 per acre payment for cover crops and increases funding for EQIP and the Conservation Stewardship Program. Plus, there's extra dollars for rural development and research. The updated draft of the Build Back Better Act also includes nearly $1 billion for biofuels infrastructure. This would allow USDA to provide grants during the next 10 years to expand biofuel pump infrastructure and upgrade existing tanks and pumps. Doug Nome with the South Dakota Corn Growers Association says it would also increase usage of higher blends of biodiesel and ethanol over E10.
If somebody wants to build a new gas station and sell blends higher than E10, then they can apply for and get a grant up to 75% of the cost for putting some of that equipment in, such as dispensaries, pumps, and tanks, and so on.
Nome says this is a signal the Biden administration recognizes biofuels are part of the solution to their carbon reduction strategy. If passed, this biofuels infrastructure program would be huge for the industry.
Over the past few years, the most the ethanol industry has ever got for a program like this is $100 million. So people are over the top excited about $1 billion.
The act includes a new tax credit to support the creation of sustainable aviation fuel. Plus, the biodiesel tax credit would be extended for 4 years. It was set to expire at the end of 2022. The House Ag Committee held a hearing this week on challenges to the food supply chain. The perfect storm has disrupted the fertilizer market, creating a global shortage and pushing retail prices to near record highs this fall. It's this week's AgWeek cover story. Farmers are feeling the sting of skyrocketing fertilizer prices as they make fall applications, and prices may not cool anytime soon. Bob Larson with Nutrient Ag Solutions says retail prices for many nitrogen products have more than doubled from a year ago, with anhydrous ammonia around $980 per ton on a national average.
Ammonia up again, probably $300 a ton in cost from where it was a year ago. In season, this late stuff that you bought, probably say even upwards of $500 to $600.
Potash and phosphate have also bounced off of 15-year lows last fall, with potash at $730 per ton.
Phosphorus and potash, we're probably up $200 to $300 a ton from where we were last fall.
The price spike is a result of higher grain prices, but more so supply chain issues that have tightened supplies, like 7-year highs in natural gas, plus logistical issues, including those tied to Hurricane Ida damage.
And so when the barges did not get unloaded on grain because of their facility, we ended up, you can't put fertilizer back on these barges and get them back up north filled up for this fall runs.
That in turn is limiting the availability of fertilizer, which may override price concerns.
It's going to get tight later this fall. The last 20% supplies could get tight. Really all product lines will get tight, which then means the system's empty.
And so supplies will contract more by spring, which could push prices even higher, depending on natural gas.
I don't see it being really skyrocketing for spring from where it is today in season prices. Retail prices are today probably trading under cost today, just because everybody has a position. So realistically, I think you'll probably see a $200 to $300, still an increase to get to our replacement cost today.
His advice to farmers trying to manage the increased cost of production is to look at split applications, use of nitrogen stabilizers, and in-season foliar feeding. You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Farmers have seen big price run-ups in the fertilizer market before. In fact, in 2008, prices were higher than they are today. However, this cycle is different because it's a global shortage, and no matter what producers are willing to pay, they may not be able to get the product. Market expert Josh Linville told AgWeek's Mikkel Pates he's never seen the global market hit by so many negative factors simultaneously, including China's ban on fertilizer exports through June 2022 to conserve electricity.
The Chinese represent 1/3 of global urea production, give or take, depending on how much they're producing. And so if they pull themselves from the marketplace, you pull a lot of the exports out of the marketplace, you've just lowered supply significantly. Demand remains the same. High tide floats all boats.
Plus, natural gas prices are up 224% domestically, but prices in Europe are 4 times higher than in the U.S.
We have lost a pretty good amount of European nitrogen production because of natural gas values over there. It simply costs them so much money to produce a ton of fertilizer that they can't afford it.
He recommends farmers work with retailers to line up inventory now so they get it locked in, especially for spring. Various commodity groups are asking the U.S. Court of International Trade to overturn a previous decision regarding phosphate fertilizer imports from Morocco. In March, the ITC began imposing tariffs on Moroccan and Russian phosphate fertilizer. MCOOL filed the petition to implement the 19% tariffs for 5 years. The groups are challenging the ruling, claiming MCOOL controls over 80% of the phosphate market, giving them a near monopoly status. This has resulted in a phosphate shortage. Senators, including South Dakota's John Thune and Mike Rounds, have introduced legislation to reinstate mandatory country of origin labeling for beef. The American Beef Labeling Act would require the U.S. Trade Representative, in consultation with the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, to develop a World Trade Organization compliant means of reinstating MCOOL 1 year from enactment. Senator Rounds says this is an important step in restoring market integrity for cattle producers and consumers.
If it's something says that it's from the United States of America, it ought to be from the United States of America, and there's a value to being able to advertise it that way. Mandatory country of origin labeling, one of the reasons why the folks out of state or out of the country don't like it is because there's a value to it that right now our American producers can't get.
Cattle producers like Keith Eichler are optimistic MCOOL can be made WTO compliant and get the needed traction in Congress.
We need MCOOL bad, and it'll happen. I truly believe there's a lot of support there by the senators all over the country because we not only want fair prices for the cattlemen, we want fair prices for the consumer.
He says restoring MCOOL will allow producers to build demand for U.S.-produced cattle. MCOOL has long been a priority for cattle groups like RCAF. Their data indicates that during the nearly 7 years since MCOOL for beef was repealed, U.S. cattle producers experienced lower cattle prices. Coming up on AgWeek TV, the sugar beet harvest is wrapping up. We'll see how the crop fared in this tough growing season.
Superior Grain Equipment is committed to quality and service. Protect your bottom line and your future with superior quality, protection, and reliability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
At Advanced Grain Handling Systems, we're your full-service grain dryer and bin project partner. We'll handle everything from start to finish.
These guys are all in one. That was one of the big draws. They were the general. They took care of the electrical. They took care of the cement, took care of everything.
Whether your next project is big or small, let our team help with it all. Visit advancedgrainhandling.com.
Hamilton System Inc. in Drayton, North Dakota is the North American distributor of the Fantini corn and sunflower header. Both the L03 corn head and the G03 sunflower head have a simple, high-efficiency, low-maintenance PTO-driven gearbox, which eliminates slippage and power loss even in the most trying conditions. These heads are built with a solid one-piece frame and tubular steel construction that will withstand the harshest field conditions. Available in models from 4 to 18 rows, they adapt to any combine and come with a 4-year warranty on the transmission units.
things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you. From top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Go beyond the headlines with an AGWEEK membership. Get in-depth agribusiness reporting, original farm and ranch stories, and fact-based research for the most comprehensive ag news in the upper Midwest. Experienced ag journalists bring you exclusive ag news, insights, and policy updates you won't find anywhere else. Become a member today and get unlimited access to AGWEEK and AGWEEK TV.
USDA's Risk Management Agency has released the harvest prices for crop insurance, which are set in October. They exceeded the projected price averages from February. For corn, it's up 79 cents from the spring price. For soybeans, 43 cents, and oil-type sunflowers are up $9.60 per hundredweight. Farmers use their actual production loss to collect from crop insurance, and any production shortfall is paid at the higher harvest price. However, industry experts say they don't expect big payouts because many yields were better than expected. The 2021 sugar beet season was a challenge from the start, but in the end, growers produced a decent crop. Rose Dunn has a wrap-up of the season.
The crop is nearly all harvested now, and American Crystal Sugar Company says farmers have produced nearly 12 million tons of sugar beets. That compares to 10 million tons last year. Yields averaged 28.7 tons per acre. But the director of the Red River Valley Sugar Beet Growers Association, Harrison Weber, says it wasn't an easy season. In the spring, dry conditions caused poor germination in some fields.
Starting off in the springtime, we had really favorable conditions immediately to start, but then it got dry very quickly.
Then a windstorm forced some growers to replant, but it remained dry, so those acres struggled with emergence. Finally, several inches of timely rain in the late summer and fall, combined with warm temperatures, encouraged root growth and added significant tonnage.
Right in the nick of time. We caught a couple of those 1 inch, inch and a half, 2 inch rains up and down the valley and really pushed the crop along at the very tail end. We gained a significant amount of tonnage the last 6-8 weeks of kind of fall, summer time frame right before harvest. And so without that late rain, it would have been a totally different harvest for us.
Then the start of harvest was delayed about 10 days by unseasonably warm temperatures in early October. So all in all, not a record crop, but a good year.
Not a home run crop by any means, but we'll definitely take it a strong crop.
In Fargo, this is Rose Dunn for AgWeek.
Sugar content is generally lower in the southern Red River Valley and higher in the north, but on average is about 17.9%. The former manager of the McIntosh-Watauga Equity Exchange grain elevator is charged with embezzling nearly $50,000. Deanne Marie Halsworth had been manager from 2016 to early 2020. The loss was noticed when a farmer requested payment of $41,000 for 2018 wheat and the elevator failed to pay. In addition, the South Dakota Public Service Commission claims the elevator was not in compliance with the commission's financial standard for a grain buyer. Halsworth will be back in court on November 15th. Ahead on AgWeek TV, researchers are using bees to treat a devastating sunflower disease.
Don't miss out on the equipment you'll need next season. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer, has early order discounts on its full line of powerful, efficient, new Case IH equipment, including tractors, combines, and self-propelled sprayers. Get a great deal and ensure that you have the latest in productivity and technology. Supply chains are tight. Contact your Titan Machinery dealership today and find out how much you can save by ordering ahead. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH equipment experts.
Hi, Bill Kelsey here, Geringhoff Territory Manager, covering northern Minnesota and the Dakotas. At Geringhoff, we offer a full line of the best harvest headers and residue management systems on the market. Contact me today to discuss your farm's needs. From there, I'll connect you with an authorized Geringhoff dealer.
At North Star Ag, we're more than your short-line machinery dealer. We're also full service, and we're farmers first. That means we know it's not about what's best, but what's best for your farm. Whether you're planting, growing, or harvesting, we're there for all your equipment, parts, and service needs. And we've been doing it since 2009, with the largest inventory and availability in the area. Check us out at northstar-ag.com or call us at 701-361-4790.
Good work, good pay, and a good life. It's the Trans Systems way. Good work, good pay, and a good life. Lets me live my way. Good work, good pay, and a good life. Trans Systems way. Good work, good pay, and a good life. Lets me live my way. It's the Trans Systems way. Good work.
We're going to talk today about a revolutionary auto steer product that you guys have developed.
We back one of these things in, it'll drain a 40-acre patch just within hours.
What can you tell us about what dairy farmers do to make sure that their animals are happy?
Their care is our primary concern.
Is there still time for producers to get storage bins up?
Absolutely. We still can definitely get something up and ready for corn harvest.
After a cold, mostly dry week, we're again seeing a warming trend to help finish the last of the harvest. Here's our agri-weather outlook.
As we continue throughout November here, we've had some very mild temperatures across parts of the region. That will continue for a little while before we're looking at some colder weather arriving. And a lot of this may be a little more seasonal for us, just meaning that it's been so warm that it's going to feel colder, although it'll be fairly close to our seasonal average high temperatures. And some will end up having some chilly temps. We are tracking a large dip in the upper atmosphere, which will bring some storm chances to the region. We'll be talking some wind, some rain, and some of us will be cold enough that we'll even mention the word snow with that larger system. So that's what we're going to walk through here shortly. So we have some ridging in the upper atmosphere that's kept us very mild over the weekend. As we head throughout the first half of the work week, that ridge slowly shifts toward the east, still impacting most of the plains and the upper Midwest and pushing off toward the eastern seaboard. As we look toward the northwest, the Pacific Northwest, we're going to start to see a dip in the upper atmosphere early in the work week, and that will eventually slide through the central plains and impact the Midwest and the northern plains here midweek. So there's Thursday with our upper flow pattern. As we head toward the end of next week, that'll really start to dip down and eventually push off toward the east. So that's going to be our next weather producer. But looking behind it, temperatures may rebound for some of us. Now, this will be the big question mark, is how our weather pattern will be influenced after this wave moves on out, which we may end up going to a little more zonal flow or even a little bit northwesterly, which could bring a few chances of precipitation after that wave. Temperature outlook this week, well, it has been mild and it's going to stay mild for a while. So most of the plains, the central portion, the lower 48 up through the upper Midwest, well above average here. It's just great November weather if you do like it warmer, that is, but a little cooler weather off toward the west. So most of this week will be above or a little closer to seasonal as we end up cooling down a little bit more so toward the end of the week. Precipitation wise, of course, that will be going up as we are tracking that larger wave to impact our weather here. So bringing the wet weather along the Pacific Northwest and eventually into the northern plains and the Midwest as we head toward the second half of this week. The first half is looking dry and mild, second half wet and a little cooler, and it'll likely be windy as well. As we head toward the following week, well, we'll be looking at some warmer temperatures along the northeast and across the far southwest. Temperatures through the central portion of the U.S. is still that question mark as that large upper level wave pushes eastward. What the weather will end up doing behind it, I end up seeing that kind of fluctuating from some milder days to some cooler days, which will end up coming up kind of average overall with some cooler weather expected across the northwest. Precipitation wise, still could have a few weaker waves behind that larger system that could bring some precipitation across the northern plains and upper Midwest, with still some below average weather or precipitation across the desert southwest. So we are tracking some colder weather, some storm chances, with even the mention of snow coming up here in this forecast.
At Advanced Grain Handling Systems, we're your full-service grain dryer and bin project partner. We'll handle everything from start to finish.
These guys are all in one. That was one of the big draws. They were the general. They took care of the electrical. They took care of the cement, took care of everything.
Whether your next project is big or small, let our team help with it all. Visit advancedgrainhandling.com.
Risk management is not just for the grains. Livestock producers, did you know you can help protect the price of your production? Livestock Risk Protection, or LRP, is a great tool to help you protect the price of your years of hard work. LRP is available for feeder cattle, fat cattle, and swine. Besides the availability of price risk insurance in your production, cattle producers can also protect their pasture and hayland from the lack of rainfall with Pasture Rangeland Forage, or PRF insurance. To learn more about these programs, call Martinson Ag Risk Management.
You can get the field results you want in varying conditions with the flexibility of the Summers VRT Renegade. Featuring on-the-fly blade angle adjustment from 0 to 19 degrees. And if you want the simplicity of a super coulter with the ability to move a little dirt, you'll love the all-new Summers Super Coulter Samurai. Go to summersmfg.com or visit your local dealer to learn more about North America's broadest line of tillage equipment and other products from North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing.
For AGWEEK, this is Mikkel Pates at Watertown, South Dakota.
We'll look at the positive impacts that dairy can have on the community.
A Minnesota couple has put a grain bin to a new use. Spoiler alert, it's not grain.
This elaborate system of tubing with the downhill slope is how Maplewood State Park gathers sap to make syrup.
Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of AgWeek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. NDSU researchers are studying an innovative way to control a devastating sunflower disease. As Ann Bailey reports, they're having good results using bees to fight sunflower head rot.
This is the infected head of sunflower.
Sunflower head rot can devastate the plants and yields. It's a fungus, but fungicides aren't effective on it. Now, NDSU scientists at the Langdon Research Extension Center are working on a project to use honeybees to fight the disease. During pollinating, they deliver CR7, a naturally occurring fungal organism.
With North Dakota being the #1 producer of honey, and there's a lot of hives up in northeast North Dakota, it just seemed logical to try this project with honeybees. And it looks like it's working. And it just seems like a really good fit, both environmentally and economically.
Plant pathologist Venkat Chapara is leading the research. NDSU is partnering with a Canadian company.
We are hoping to figure out how many beehives per acre are needed.
He says the project offers several advantages for growers.
Control of the disease, no fungicide usage or spraying usage is needed. So you will save money on spraying. Okay. And also environmental pollution won't be there. The third one they mention is honey. And the fourth one, I see that there is a good yield difference too.
It's all hands on deck for this research project, as 6,000 sunflower heads have to be cut by hand.
They go into the respective bag and we tag them.
We have a benefit for the beekeepers, a benefit for the sunflower growers, and a benefit for those that like to eat sunflowers.
The research also included bumblebees because they handle cooler temperatures better than honeybees. At the Langdon Research Extension Center, this is Ann Bailey for AgWeek.
This bee technology has also been effective on strawberries and other crops in the southern U.S. Still ahead, a North Dakota farmer gets national honors for his bumper crop.
Hamilton System Inc. in Drayton, North Dakota is the North American distributor of the Fantini corn and sunflower header. Both the L03 corn head and the G03 sunflower head have a simple, high-efficiency, low-maintenance PTO-driven gearbox, which eliminates slippage and power loss even in the most trying conditions. These heads are built with a solid one-piece frame and tubular steel construction that will withstand the harshest field conditions. Available in models from 4 to 18 rows, they adapt to any combine and come with a 4-year warranty on the transmission units.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
I am Kevin Johnson, president of Gateway Building Systems. I started with Gateway back in 1974 on the construction side. The next year went into the office and sales, and in 1977 became part owner. We've got a great team of salespeople, designers, project managers. The key to Gateway is our people. Our customers appreciate the quality and reliability.
At North Star Ag, we're more than your short line machinery dealer. We're also full service, and we're farmers first. That means we know it's not about what's best, but what's best for your farm. Whether you're planting, growing, or harvesting, we're there for all your equipment, parts, and service needs. And we've been doing it since 2009, with the largest inventory and availability in the area. Check us out at northstar-ag.com or call us at 701-361-4790.
Go beyond the headlines with an AGWEEK membership. Get in-depth agribusiness reporting, original farm and ranch stories, and fact-based research for the most comprehensive ag news in the upper Midwest. Experienced ag journalists bring you exclusive ag news, insights, and policy updates you won't find anywhere else. Become a member today and get unlimited access to AGWEEK and AGWEEK TV.
A North Dakota farmer is the nation's top wheat grower. John Hofer grows corn, soybeans, and wheat near Milner. While his soybeans suffered in the drought, his corn yield was good, but it was his wheat that really excelled this year. He's this year's winner of the National Wheat Yield Contest. His dryland spring wheat crop had a yield of 122.27 bushels an acre. Hofer has grown the West Spread 9590 variety for several years. It holds up well against the irregular, excessive heat and drought the region saw over the growing season. Hofer says he was expecting a lower yield, but timely rains really helped.
It was dry like everybody else, but the rains came just the right time and it worked. It's just a matter of who was under the cloud at the right time.
Deb Anderson, the owner of Deb's Seed Sales, entered Hofer in the contest. She says the West Spread variety yields exceptionally well and is known for having a great test weight and high protein content. Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgWeek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have yourself a great and safe week.